to Ms. Silver if she'd like to.
Ms. Silver, board here.
Yes, thank you, Judge. So as I understand it, you've been analyzing cell phone records for 1 year?
Just over a year, going on 2 years.
Well, just over 1 year, you said?
Yeah.
So 12, 13 months?
Almost 2 years.
Okay. And you've testified only 4 times, you said?
I've testified 6 times altogether, 4 times as an expert, 2 just regular testimony.
Okay, so 4 times as an expert. And in this particular case, did you do the actual analysis or are you reviewing someone else's work?
Judge, I would object if this is beyond the scope of the year. This is a question of cost, certainly, but doesn't go to those qualifications.
I intend to ask them a follow-up question to that.
Okay.
Thank you. In this case, did you do the actual work or review someone else's work?
Yes, I reviewed someone else's work.
And how long ago did you review someone else's work?
It was 2 days.
Today?
Yes.
Okay. And how many times have you reviewed someone else's work?
I had peer-reviewed work, I would say about 2 times.
Okay, so you're being asked to testify as an expert reviewing someone else's work. Have you ever done that before? Reviewed someone else's work and testified?
Yes.
Okay, which case was that in?
That was actually yesterday.
Okay, so.
Third Circuit, Hathaway should be at the bottom of the CV. The last one under testimony.
Yes, but that was not as an expert.
Correct.
Okay, so as an expert, how many times have you testified reviewing someone else's work?
None.
The person whose work you're being asked to testify about, did you have conversations with him about his work?
Yes, I work with them every single day.
I'm sorry?
I work with them every day, yes.
Okay, so today you spoke with him about what he did?
Yes.
I renew my motion to qualify him as an expert.
I object, Judge. He's just too new. He's only testified 4 times and never has he been asked to review someone else's work and provide expert testimony.
But we all start somewhere. We're all new at one point. Even you were new at one point in time. Right? So, given that,
Yes, Judge.
the court is going to allow the students to testify as an expert in music.
I requested, and I didn't request reviewing another person's work because I don't think that's necessary. I requested cell phone provider analysis.
So, provide an analysis and that we proceed.
I'm sorry, cell provider data analysis. Thank you. Permission to approach?
Yes.
Thank you.
So I just handed you what I previously marked as People's Exhibit 2A.
This is too late.
Do you recognize that document?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It is the analysis done for the cell phone app.
What do you mean it's the analysis done for the cell phone?
So at the top, you have the calls report, which then gives you the data. At the bottom, which shows the mapping for the tower used for that call.
And there's something at the top right-hand corner of this document. What is that?
Where it says the OIC.
Yes.
That is who the officer in charge is of this case.
And who is that?
Detective Brian Bowen.
And the bottom right-hand corner, what is that information?
That is who actually created this, prepared by Detective Sean Schmelzer.
And that's not your name, obviously. Why?
I'm filling in for him.
What do you mean by filling in for him? What did you do with respect to this line?
I reviewed the mapping, for the work that was done to, I guess, review to ensure that everything on here is what it was, put on.
Could you clarify what you mean by that? What did you do exactly?
Well, in our system PLX, I can pull up this case, this exact call, and I can also do what has been done on this.
Okay, and did you do that here?
Yes, I did it at work.
And what conclusions did you draw from it?
Basically, everything that is on this exhibit is what I had seen when I did it at work.
And backing up a second here, where did the underlying information come from?
We're provided it from T-Mobile, the call detail records.
Permission to approach, Judge?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear, you said something, I didn't hear what you said.
I wasn't intending to ask something on the record, I was just saying maybe we could scroll further. So I just showed you a document on my computer that was previously marked and admitted as People's Exhibit 2B. Did you recognize that document?
Yes,
What was it?
those are the call detail records provided by T-Mobile.
And how are those records associated with People's Exhibit 2A?
So basically at the top where it says target name, target date, time, all that is transmitted from those call detail records and placed right here on this exhibit.
Okay. And specifically, what about in the center of the page? What's depicted in the center?
That is the map, the tower views. So if you look at the top where, again, where it says target name, target date, time, at the end, it says start, lack, and sit. The blue depicted on the map is that tower utilized for that incoming voice call. And the red dot,
Judge, this is, I don't know how we're supposed to know what he's talking about, because there are multiple areas of blue on the document. So, okay, Judge, you have admonished everybody in the courtroom to be quiet, and they're not.
Who's talking? Who was talking?
I couldn't tell, I just hear him.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time and everybody's out.
So if, I would ask that we, maybe put the document up on the screen or do something so we know what he's talking about. because we need to make a record, we need to be clear about what he's talking about. So there are a couple of areas of blue on the
I'm not sure
document.
how this is supposed to be helpful to me, because I have
Yeah.
no idea what you're talking about.
Judge, I gotta lay a foundation before I'm gonna admit the document and show it to you. That's what I'm trying to do. I wasn't trying to get into the specifics at this point. I'm trying to lay the foundation so that I can for submission and then give you a
It
copy.
sounded like you were asking about specific things contained in the document, which I'm unable to follow you.
Yeah, and I don't know how what he's asking is laying a foundation. I'm not clear on that.
My specific question was, where did this information on the center of the page come from? And I was in Ms. Silver's position, I don't know what she's going to do, but I would object that we haven't established where any of this information came from unless he testifies to what it is before I move for submission. So
How should you move for this addition to
then I'll do so. I'll move for the admission of People's Exhibit 2A.
the investment?
Preliminarily, I have no objection, subject to examination.
And it,
Thank you. Permission to approach the extra copy. Okay. Why don't we start from the beginning? The very top middle portion of the page on People's Exhibit 2A, there is a number and then T-Mobile listed. Where does that information come from?
That is information that is placed on there, provided by the phone.
So that's just transposing information from T-Mobile?
Correct.
Okay. That next box, can you walk through what each of these items are?
Yes. So target name, Chiron Cooper, is associated with target 248-416-8662. Date 7/3/2021. Time 2:34:19 seconds.
Let me stop you right there. That date and time is, what time zone is that?
That's Eastern.
And is that how you receive the data from T-Mobile?
No, it's in UTC time, Universal Time Coordinated.
So how is that translated?
So our system PLX, when we upload the records, it is automatically time transferred into Eastern Standard Time. So what you see is what we receive from T-Mobile, taken, put in PLX, and then transferred over to Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, how about the duration? What is that?
Duration is how long that call was transferred for.
And direction?
Whether incoming or outgoing, at this point, it's incoming voice call. As you can see in the next line, call type voice.
So this was a voice call to that number, 248-416-8662?
Correct.
And what about the rest of this information? Contact name, contact ID, and start LAC/CI. What's that?
So we have contact name, Cooper Pearl, and they, the contact ID 706-979-4394, was making outgoing phone calls to the 248 number, which is why it's incoming. And then we see start back and SID, which is the tower information. LAC, lag, stands for location area code. And SID is the cell identity. So when you think of lag, you can kind of think of the zip code of a tower, and the SID is the specific address within that tower.
What do you mean the specific address?
So when we're talking about lag, we're talking about the area of which that tower is located, and then the SID, when we speak of that address, that's like the specific region or area within that tower that you are receiving signal to that phone.
And the contact name information, where does that come from?
Are we speaking on the contact name or the target?
The contact name, what is that?
Contact name, we have a public database in which it's called Clear. And when you run a phone number, you are able to receive information sometimes as to who that phone is provided by.
Okay, moving down the page, there's a map in the center of the page. Where does the actual map?
The map is a part of our system, again, PLX. We run a report for phone calls that we want map that is provided within our system, PLX.
And do you understand that map to be a fair and accurate depiction of that area?
Yes,
On the map, there is what I would describe as an open triangle. What is that?
that depicts the tower information that I went over, the start, lack, and sit. That is provided on the map, given the location.
And just a little bit more specific, what is that? What does that show?
That is the tower used for that incoming voice call.
Why is it an open triangle instead of a circle or some other shape?
So our system, PLX, that is the depiction that it is used for the tower. Now, it's not a fair depiction as to how towers, the signal, radius of the tower, or it is used as a 1 mile radius. So the reason why I say it's not a fair depiction because a phone call can be made and the tower can still be accessed and used for phone calls just on the outside of that triangle shape that you were talking about on either side. However, that is the tower used for that phone call.
And this is the phone call at 2:34 a.m. on 7/3,
Correct.
2021.
Yes.
Okay. And there's what I would describe as a red circle with a red point with a white circle in the middle. What is that red pointer?
So that is the depiction of the 6571 Linwood that is just below in the middle. It says 6571 Linwood. And that depicts that location.
And in your opinion as an expert, is this phone call that was made at 2:34 a.m. on 7/3/2021, is the data you received from the cell phone provider consistent with it being the area of that address?
Yes.
Permission to approach, Judge?
Yes.
2C. I just handed you what I previously marked as People's Exhibit 2C. Are you familiar with that document?
Yes.
Could you explain what it is?
This is subscriber information provided by T-Mobile.
And I'm sorry, I lost my copy. One moment.
One times I read it already.
I got it, Judge. Thank you. I appreciate it. And based on your training and experience, do you know what subscriber details means?
Sorry, is that, you're asking if I understand what's on this page?
Yes.
Yes.
And could you just explain that section called subscriber details?
Yes, so, we have subscriber name, which is given to T-Mobile. It says Kyron Cooper. Subscriber address provided,
You don't need to read the address.
and, subscriber status, A, that shows, active. And then, when that was provided, which was, 5/6 of 2020.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Cross-exam, were you moving for the admission of this?
It was already moved to be admitted.
Yeah. So, so subscriber information, you give a name to T-Mobile and they give you information, is that how that works?
No, we provide them with a cell phone number, through search warrant, and when we receive the records, we are provided information.
How many search warrants do you know of that were for cell phones in this particular case? If you know. If you know.
I don't know.
Okay, so is it safe to assume that the information you have about this case is limited to what you just testified to?
Yes,
Okay, so, subscriber information, what does that mean? Does that mean who originally purchased the phone or who originally subscribed to the service?
yes, in a way. So if you're buying a cell phone and, they ask the name under the, account name, and you provide that information to, that cell phone company, T-Mobile. That is how we receive this information.
So it doesn't mean that's the person who actually uses the phone or has possession of the phone. It's the person who subscribed to the service, right?
Correct.
So if you are maybe a parent and you subscribe to a cell company for your children, that would be the subscriber, would be the person who's going in and getting the service. Is that right?
Correct.
Thank you. Now, you've told us that on this particular document that we've been looking at, 2A, the contact name didn't come from T-Mobile. It came from something a police officer did. Is that correct?
It came from that subscriber information.
The name Pearl Cooper came from subscriber information?
I'm sorry, I don't have that document from me right now.
You said 2A, I just have 2C in front of me.
You don't have 2A, the map?
Oh, that's the A? Okay.
Yeah. There.
Thank you.
That contact name didn't come from T-Mobile, is that correct?
Correct.
It came from something you did internally, or somebody did internally at the police department, is that right?
Correct.
Now, the duration of this call is 1.10, correct?
Yes, that translates to a minute and 10 seconds.
Yes, and does that mean people were actually talking?
Normally, when a phone call is that long, we do say, it is fair to say that a phone call or conversation has been made.
Okay, what is the cutoff for not being fair to say?
I believe around 20 seconds.
Okay, what do you mean you believe around 20 seconds?
Off the top of my head, I can't exactly say. However, it's based off of the amount of time and rings it takes for a phone call to go to voicemail.
Okay, so if a phone rings, 10 times and then goes to voicemail, and then a message is left, how long does that take?
I I can't see off the top of my head.
Okay, well, how would you be able to? How would you be able to say that? What do you need to be able to answer that question?
Well, I know that there's a certain time and amount of rings that it takes for a phone call to go to voicemail. But
Is that always the same?
if a phone is off and it goes straight to voicemail, then yes. Sometimes
Okay.
it is.
What if a phone is on and doesn't get answered?
There's a specific time for the amount of rings that it takes to go to voicemail.
What is that specific time?
I don't recall off the top of my head. So.
Where do you get that information from?
That is just done information.
What does that mean, self-done information?
So we have test phones that we use for Detroit Police Department. And we go out, we make phone calls, and it's kind of like a self-test to be able to say, yes, the phone is consistent with being in this area. And we get a search warrant, we do our records and everything. So we do make phone calls to where we make a phone call and let it just go straight to voicemail so that we can have it.
Okay, but you don't have any such data today.
Correct.
And this data that you're talking about, it's not like scientific data or anything, is that correct?
No, it's just
It's
self.
just your guesses at what time frame we're talking about, is that correct?
I mean, it's not a yes, it's self, it's test.
Did you do that in this case?
No,
You told us that this open triangle that we have here, I think you said, you told us that the tower, that depicts the tower that was used for this incoming voice call, correct?
correct.
And so is the point where the tower is located, the place where the two lines intersect, is that where the tower actually is?
Yes,
And so that tower covers a pretty fair amount of distance, doesn't it?
that depicts a 1 mile radius.
Okay, when you say a 1 mile radius, what does that mean? Does that mean like a circle all around that tower?
No,
Okay, what does it mean?
based off of those two lines.
Okay, so a mile on either side of those two lines?
Correct.
Okay, so the area that we're talking about then is quite a bit larger than a mile that would cover, is that right?
I'm sorry that the question is.
Well, if you're talking about a mile on the left side of the line and a mile on the right side of the line, that sounds like 2 miles to me. I mean, I'm not an expert like you are, but that sounds like 2 miles.
Both lines depict a mile. So a mile and a mile.
So the tower covers a mile and a mile straight up the line.
Like I said earlier, it can also be on either side of the lines.
That's what I just asked you.
I told you I didn't understand that question.
Okay, so the tower covers area on both sides of both of those lines, is that correct?
Correct.
So if you're looking at this map that you have testified about, if you're looking at the portion that goes up the page, to the left of that line, it would cover a mile, right?
Correct.
And to the right of the line, it would cover a mile, is that correct?
Yes.
Same with the bottom line, is that correct?
Yes.
So essentially, are you saying a mile in all directions coming from that tower?
So what we have right here is the It's the sector within that tower, so that is the coverage shown. So like a mile is the lines going up, up here, up here.
Right, I get that, but the question is, could it also be going, so those lines show sort of northeast and sort of southeast, could it also be northwest, west, and southwest?
No,
Why not?
because that, so that's the tower. If the sectors were facing those ways, so we're talking about a tower and, the cell identity. So the cell identity is within that tower, giving the, sector of that tower, so it's gonna pick up where it's strongest on that tower. There's multiple cell identities within that tower, so it's kind of uncommon for it to attach or pick up a phone call on the opposite side of the tower.
I see. So I see northeast and southeast, what about east? Going straight up,
Yes, it's
it
gonna,
could pick up that,
yes, it's covering
but
that,
not anything on the other side of the town.
correct.
So on this document then, nothing to the left of the tower, as we're looking at the document, is that what you're saying?
Correct,
Only to the right of the tower?
correct,
And how far out? You said a mile?
within a mile radius.
Okay. By the way, sometimes, do calls bounce off of other SIDs within the tower?
Yes,
And do calls also bounce off of other T-Mobile towers in the area?
yes, the phone's gonna connect to the strongest tower within it.
I see. So it could, how many T-Mobile towers are there in that area in Detroit? Do you know?
I can't give you a specific number, however, there are multiple towers within a given area.
More than 2?
Yes,
More than 10?
yes.
I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Redirect?
Just very briefly, Rich. There was some questioning about what would happen if a phone was turned off. My only question is, if the phone was off,
Objection, I didn't ask about a phone being turned off.
yes,
My questions were if a phone rang and wasn't picked up.
there was
Based
a,
along the same line, so we were
Okay.
interested.
if a phone was off, you mentioned it going straight to voicemail.
Right.
In that scenario, would there be a record from the cell phone provider of that incoming call?
Yes,
And there's been a lot of discussion about these lines on 2A. When you say that it could be on either side of the line, do you know how much variance there is there? Like how far outside of the lines the call could potentially be, or the phone could potentially be?
so we're dealing with radio frequency waves. Each day can be different for the tower. We use a mile radius because of our independent testing that I was speaking on earlier. However, a tower's signal is not gonna be depicted as perfect straight lines because we're dealing with radio frequency waves. So when I say it be just on the outside of that line, or just on the outside of, the southeast line that we're speaking on, it's not gonna be drastically, because as I was saying to her, that there's multiple towers in that area. So it's gonna be very hard for, like I said, it's just gonna connect to the strongest tower at that time. So it's not gonna be a drastic outside of that tower coverage area.
And when you say drastic, is there a specific, like example of a number you have in mind of how far outside of that area?
It's like if we're looking at the bottom line, which points southeast, as we were saying, and it says Bishop Park on that map. So a phone call could possibly be made just just south where it says like park, you know, it could be just outside of that line. That's kind of what I'm speaking of. It's not drastic.
Which park did you say?
At the bottom of that tower, it says Bishop Park.
Oh, okay.
So I'm speaking, you know, just outside of that, tower coverage. It's not gonna be anything drastic, as if, 96 and, West Grand Boulevard.
Okay, so, for instance, you wouldn't expect the call to be going to a phone located at 96 and 94, the intersection of those two freeways? Referred to on the map as the Etzel Ford Freeway, but it's-
Okay, yeah. The intersection,
yes, the intersection of 96 and the Etzel Ford.
I mean, it's just outside of that tower coverage area, so it could possibly.
How about we go to the top end of the page, the intersection of Joy Road and Linwood Street, kind of by that Sacred Heart Major Cemetery.
Based on, my expertise, it would possibly connect to a different sector within that tower.
What would you expect? Would you expect it to hit off this tower specifically?
It could, but it's not, there's no given that it's not going to, it could. But the chances are it's going to, it could use that tower, but just a different sector of that tower, a different cell identity within that tower.
I'm sorry, my question wasn't well phrased. Would you expect it to connect off of the specific cell identity shown here?
Probably not.
No further questions.
So basically, all of this is just to say that this isn't a science and there's no 100% answer, is that correct?
All I can say is that this phone call was made and it connected to this tower in this sector at that time that that phone call was made.
Okay, and you have no idea where the phone was located at the time it connected to that tower, is that correct?
No,
And
No,
when,
it's not correct.
no, I can't say definitely where that phone is within that tower.
when you're talking about the cell phone evidence, there's a lot of different things that come into play in terms of, well, never mind, you've answered it, I'm done, thank you.
Thank you, sir. You guys go.
People call Sergeant Ford to the stand. And Judge, I request, that looks like I already done, sorry, I'm gonna be sharing my screen.
You know this real sergeant?
Yes. He does.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ready, get me ready.
Thank you, Judge. Could you please state your name again for the record?
Sergeant Stephen Ford,
And how are you employed?
Civil Detroit Police Department,
How long have you worked with the city of Detroit Police Department?
29 years.
Do you serve in any particular capacity with them?
Yes, I work on the side.
And how long have you worked with them?
14 years.
Is there any role within the homicide unit that you play?
Yes, sir. I'm a certified video technician.
What does that mean to be a certified?
Means I'm able to go out, extract video, and prepare it for court.
And you have training? Was there some training involved?
Yes,
What was that?
I'm certified through Waiver, which is the Law Enforcement Emergency Services Video Association.
How much training do you have to undergo to get that certification?
It's a 2 week, well, 1 week for the initial certification, and then another week for the actual certification.
And were you certified back in 2021?
Yes,
What about green light video? Are you familiar with that?
yes.
What is it?
Green light is through our Genetech system.
Could you explain, just elaborate?
Well, Genetech, is a pretty much a software system which contains our green light video, our LPRs, any of the cameras around the city is through our Genetech software.
And when you say green light videos, could you explain specifically what those are?
So pretty much a green light location has the cameras. It's actually, the city has the ability to actually view continuously for 24 hours a day.
So they're live streamed to the Detroit Police Department?
Yes,
And is that video footage regularly downloaded and preserved in the ordinary course of the Detroit Police Department's business?
it's not all downloaded, but yes, it's anytime there's an incident, it's downloaded.
And do you have experience downloading that video?
Yes,
And do you have any training with respect to green light or just experience?
well, the initial, when it first came online, we had the initial familiarization with the program, but actually going through a course now. It
And,
was mostly in-house
and how long have you been using that system?
since it began.
Do you remember approximately when it was?
I want to say maybe 7, 8 years.
And those videos that are downloaded, do those come with timestamps and date stamps?
Yes,
And in your experience, are those typically accurate?
so because it's software, sometimes the system goes for your question, it's accurate, it's on time. But sometimes the video stamp is on, but the actual time is on. If that makes sense.
What do you mean the video stamp is on?
So each time you download a video, you have a title in the video. And in the title, it tells you the exact time of that video, which is on time. But sometimes the title of the video does not give you the correct time.
And when you say doesn't give you the correct time, is it just randomly off or is there a specific?
It's
problem?
random and it's a software issue and they're aware of it. And they've been aware of it for years. But the video itself is on time.
Is it always in the same time zone?
No, that's what I mean. Sometimes it's all 4 hours. The stamp is all 4 hours.
And is that consistent?
Not on all, every time you download it. I can't tell you why sometimes it doesn't or does not do it.
Permission to approach, Judge?
Okay.
Okay, I just showed you from my computer a file that I titled People's Exhibit 3A. Did you recognize that?
Yes,
What was it?
it was clipped from the video that I provided to the ORC.
And when you say it's a clip, what do you mean? Or when you say it's a video you provide to the OIC, what do you mean?
Meaning video that was downloaded and placed on evidence.
And do you recall how that video was downloaded?
So I believe that shot is green light, but they also had an internal camera as well. So it could be either or.
Did that appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the green light footage you downloaded and preserved?
Yes,
And when you downloaded that green light footage, did you do anything with it?
process it to play in court, yes.
What do you mean you processed it?
Meaning, once I get the video, well, green light will play in court, but if I create a file, I can't use a green light video. I will have to convert it to a window space.
And are you referring to the differences between like a Gentek file and something that's generally viewable?
Yes,
And could you tell me about that conversion process? Is that doing anything to alter the contents of the video?
no,
At this time, I'd move for the admission of People's Exhibit 3A.
No objection.
And I would ask permission to publish a version of that.
yeah.
Starting at the.
Can you get an address for where this came from, please, for the record?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play People's Exhibit 3A from the 18-minute 46-second mark. Yeah, stop the video at the 20-minute 12-second mark. I don't know if your eyesight's better than mine, but there's something in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Could you explain what that is?
It's the timestamp, the date and time.
And you believe that timestamp to be accurate in this case.
Yes.
Why is that?
One more time.
Why do you believe it to be accurate?
Because it's from Jennifer.
And do you recall the address of where this camera would be located?
No.
Is there something that might refresh your recollection on this now?
My inspection reports for my report.
What about viewing the file name now?
Yes.
Permission to approach, Judge? Reviewing that document's file name, refresh your recollection?
Yes.
And where is that camera?
14127.
And are you familiar with that area?
Just from, I never patrolled that area, but I am familiar. I've gotten video from that gas station on other occasions.
Do you know what streets are visible in this shot here?
Linwood, and
So in the upper right-hand corner, what street is that?
Linwood North.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that answer.
Linwood going south. It's right off of Linwood.
What?
Commissioner Pro Judge, I'm sorry. I just handed you a document that I previously marked as People's Exhibit 3E. You recognize this document?
Yes,
What is it?
it's a screenshot of the video.
And is it a fair and accurate copy of what's depicted on the video?
Yes.
At this time, I move for the admission of People's Exhibit 3E.
No objection.
Admitted.
What? Judge, I need to have my client move so we can see the video, if that's okay with the court. Thank you.
And at this time, I'm going to take liberty to republish a portion of People's Exhibit 3A. Okay, I'm playing People's Exhibit 3A from the 23-minute, 55-second mark. And I've stopped the video at the 24 minutes, 59 second mark.
I'm sorry, what was that?
24. Commissioner Roach again here.
Okay.
Okay, I just showed you a file that previously marked as People's Exhibit 4. Did you recognize that file?
Yes,
What was it?
additional green light video.
And was it apparent on your copy of green light video that you downloaded and preserved?
Yes,
And did this go through that same conversion process that you discussed earlier?
yes,
And did that conversion process do anything to alter the contents of the video?
no,
At this time, I move to admit People's Exhibit 4.
Objection.
I'm going to publish People's Exhibit 4. I'm going to play it from the 22-minute, 35-second. Actually, the 22-minute, 35-second mark's on the screen. I could ask you some questions. The upper left-hand corner, can you see that, Sergeant Ford?
yeah,
What is that?
it's the date and timestamp.
And you believe that date and timestamp to be accurate on this video?
Yes,
So the earlier video said 2 a.m., this one says 6 a.m.
so that's the 4 hour difference on some of the green light.
So would it not be accurate to say that this timestamp's accurate?
So, but that timestamp in your title is correct.
And
Not the timestamp on the video, but the timestamp in your title.
did I create that title description or did you create it?
Well, I did, once I extracted it from, Jimmy K. That's the timestamp that was created.
And the only difference is I put People's Exhibit 4 prior to what you entered.
Yeah.
So what do you believe this time to actually wrote?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, if that's okay, Judge.
Yes.
it'll be 222:36.
And I'm not sure if the court reporter would have been able to hear that.
222:36.
And what about the location? Do you know where this footage came from?
I'm sorry, Judge, can the court please direct Sergeant Ford to keep his voice up?
It's the same location.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Okay, I'm gonna play it from that previous mark, 22-minute 35 seconds. Yeah, it's not the 24-minute 35-second mark. Permission to approach again, Your Honor?
Okay.
Okay. Exhibit is this.
Fine. And I just showed you a file that I have saved on my computer as People's Exhibit 5A. Recognize that document?
Yes,
That file, I should say, excuse me.
yes.
What was that file?
Additional green light video.
And did that green light video go through the same conversion process you discussed earlier?
Yes.
Did that conversion process do anything to alter the contents of the video?
No.
And was the video I played for you a fair and accurate copy of the footage you downloaded?
Yes.
At this time, I've moved through that People's Exhibit 5A.
No objection.
And I'm going to publish from the 20-minute 37-second. Okay, I put that exhibit up on the screen at the 20-minute, 37-second mark. Sergeant Ford, same question as before, that upper left-hand corner of the screen, what does that indicate?
Dating time stamp.
And do you believe that to be accurate on this video?
It's the 4-hour difference, yes.
But aside from the 4-hour difference, you
Yes.
expect it to be accurate? So what time do you think this actually represents? You need to get up. I think that's okay. Stretch can go a while.
2:20, 30 seconds. 2:20, 30 seconds.
Thank you, sir. And you know where this footage came from? You can speak into the mic.
The same gas station.
I'm gonna actually just, permission to approach again?
Yes.
Okay, I've handed you what I previously marked as People's Exhibit 5B. You recognize this document?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a screen capture of the video.
And what video specifically?
The green light video from 14127 Linwood.
Okay, is that the one depicted in People's Exhibit 5A?
Yes.
And is this a fair and accurate copy of the contents of that video?
Yes.
At this time, I move for the admission of People's Exhibit 5.
No objection.
Admit it. And I'll reserve further publication of People's Exhibit 5. Permission to approach again, Judge?
Okay.
Okay, I just showed you a file on my computer that I have saved as People's Exhibit 6. Did you recognize that file?
Yes.
What was it?
Green light video from 12619.
And was that green light video put through the same conversion process you talked about earlier?
Yes.
Did that conversion process do anything to alter the contents of the video?
No.
And was the file that I showed you, did that appear to be a fair and accurate copy of the footage you downloaded, preserved, and then converted?
Yes.
At this time, I move for the admission.
Wait, is there, how many reports to Sergeant Ford? Okay, because he just said 12619 Linwood, which is not on the report, so. Oh, so do you want just put there's anything there? Okay.
So I'll renew my motion to admit people's exhibits.
No objection, Judge.
And
And I'm gonna publish on the screen at the 27-minute 11-second mark. But People's Exhibit 6 up on the screen, 27-minute 11-second mark. Sergeant Ford, could you just walk us through the same exercise with that item in the upper left-hand corner of the video?
it says 6:27 and 12 seconds. Sergeant.
Thank you, Judge. If you're okay with me doing that, that's how I'll do it in the future, but
6:27.
I get it. It's a 4-hour difference.
thank you, Judge. And just for the record, that's a 4-hour difference?
Yes,
Okay, you believe that to be accurate otherwise?
yes.
And this particular video, do you know where this address is located in relation to the prior videos that we were just watching?
It's south of that.
On what street?
Then what?
And I'm gonna play from that mark, 27 minutes long. Stop the 27-minute 33-second mark. Permission to approach again, Your Honor?
Okay.
Okay, I just showed you on my laptop a file that I had saved as People's Exhibit 7. Did you recognize that document?
Yes,
That file, I should say?
yes.
And what was it?
Additional green light video from 9130 Linwood,
I'm sorry, from what address?
9130.
And where is that address in relation to the prior
So,
south? And was that green light footage converted just as the other files that we were talking about?
I'll stipulate all of the green light video has been converted in the same manner,
Thank you
so
very
we
much.
can give that, thank you, Judge.
You want to stipulate your submission?
No, I'll stipulate that it's been converted.
Okay. And did that appear to be a fair and accurate copy of the video?
yes.
At this time, I'd move to admit.
Objection.
And then
Permission to publish?
an objection to publishing after it's been amended.
Yeah, I'm publishing from the 30-minute, 15-second mark. And I've stopped at the 30-minute, 27-second mark. Surgeon Ford, I actually want to back up real quick to People's Exhibit 6. Do you know what direction that camera was facing? Not this exhibit, prior exhibit, People's Exhibit 6.
Which way was facing?
The direction it was facing. What about this one? Can you tell what direction this is facing?
I believe west. Yes, west.
Only if you know. Is it facing west or not?
I believe it's west. I'm not absolutely sure.
Judge, I asked him to be stricken, because obviously he doesn't know, he has to guess, he doesn't
That's what
know.
they just said.
No, thank you, Judge.
And do you believe this timestamp to be accurate on this video? It reads 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 27 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, I just showed you a file on my computer that I previously marked as People's Exhibit 8. Did you recognize that file?
Yeah,
What was it?
additional green light video from 8356.
I missed the address, I'm sorry.
8356.
Thank you.
And was that a fair and accurate copy of the footage that you downloaded from Greenlight?
Yes.
Okay, this time I move for the addition of People's Exhibit 8.
No objection.
Admitted.
And I'm going to publish it from the 56-second. Okay, I've stopped at the 1 minute, 8-second mark. Yeah, I just showed you a file on my computer that I marked as People's Exhibit 9A. Did you recognize that document?
Yes,
What was it?
additional green light video,
Where was that green light video?
6571, then what?
And was that a fair and accurate copy of the green light footage that you downloaded and observed in this case?
Yes,
At this time, I move for submission.
No objection.
Commissioner. Yes, I already have permission. And publishing People's Exhibit 9A from the 32-minute, 52-second mark. Before I play it, that timestamp in the upper left-hand corner reads 6:32:52 a.m. Do you believe that to be accurate?
the test 4 hours, yes.
6:32:52. And I'm sorry, what was your answer again?
The 4 hour difference, yes.
So at what time do you think it actually depicts?
What'd you say?
It reads 6:32:52. What time is it actually?
So it'd be 2:32.
All right, I'm gonna publish it from that. But once more, please. Yes, I can. I stopped it at the 33-minute, 25-second mark, and then back up to the 32-minute, 57-second mark. And I stopped it again at 33 minutes, 21 seconds. Did that cover what you wanted to do again, Judge? Yes. Thank you. And I think I might have said this, I apologize, I didn't write it down in my notes. Do you know the address where this camera is located?
6.2.
The file reads 6571 Linwood Street, you believe that to be the address?
Yes.
And when I showed you this file, I also showed you a file that I marked as People's Exhibit 9D. Did you recognize that document?
Yeah.
That file, excuse me? What was it?
It was additional. But you guys are doing the copy of the same video you displayed.
When you say it was a zoomed in copy, how did that get produced? You created
So I created an event file for what you displayed. But that was the event file, which was
it. And what did you do to create that file?
so I took the videos that you just used and put them in a simultaneous order to show the whole event from the time he went to the first gas station all the way to the time.
I'm sorry, I'm going to approach again and show you People's Exhibit 9.
So that's still, that's what we say, right? I just cut the end of that video.
So what is People's Exhibit 9B specifically?
It's the end part of that video.
And how did you create People's Exhibit 9B?
I zoomed in the last clip.
And you say you zoomed in on that last clip. Did that do anything to alter the contents of the video?
No,
Have you done that type of procedure before?
so,
Do you have any training that covered that type of
Judge,
procedure?
I'll stipulate Judge Ford has done it. He's done it a gazillion times. I've seen everything he's done. Not everything, but yes.
Go to see the stipulation.
Thank you, Judge. At this time, I move for the admission of People's Exhibit 9B.
No,
Okay, I'm gonna publish that video that's in there. Just so the record's clear, how does People's Exhibit 9B relate to People's Exhibit 9?
it's just zoomed in. It's the same clip, just zoomed in.
No further questions.
no questions.
All right, thank you, sir. You missed that. Appreciate it.
At this time, people call it Deshaun Johnson to the stand.
Judge, can we have a couple minute break so I can use the restroom? Thank you.
It'll be a recess for 5 minutes.
Let's see. 1 second.
Speaking the same thing.
wants to get a chance. It's hard. It's not real strong. I'm gonna. So. You can come back another time, you come back a better time, the 1:30 start, so. Okay, I'll find that. So.
Can we approach for a second? Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you got it.
Still one first?
Yeah.
You need to call him up on that, so, second.
I don't think so. We are back on the record on People versus Chiron and Dontel. Before we begin, let me once again address the audience. I didn't think that I would have to address adults in this manner. But ladies and gentlemen, we all here have a job to do. You don't understand or can't accept that, you can excuse yourself now. What I just heard about comments that were made to one of the attorneys will not be accepted at all whatsoever. If I hear anything like that, you will be escorted to the back and not out the door that you came. That will not be tolerated. I don't care who you're here for, it doesn't matter to me. That level of disrespect will not be tolerated. They don't have to come back here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. People call Deshaun Johnson to the stand.
Sir, please step forward, give your name and the spelling of your name to the young lady seated over here. Please raise your right hand, sir. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you. Please have a seat in the witness box right next to me. What's the nice and loud speaking to that microphone is to your left. Okay, begin, you're ready.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, or good afternoon, I'm sorry. Would you please say your name again for the record?
This one,
What's your last name?
Johnson.
And did you know someone by the name of Adrian Levert? You gotta speak up, sorry. I'm progressing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. How did you know him?
This one was a friend, Charlie.
And how old was he? You recall the night of July 2nd, going to the early morning hours of July 3rd back in 2021?
So what, can you do that?
Do you recall, let's start with the night of July 2nd, going into July 3rd? You remember that night? And did you see Adrian on that night?
Yeah,
What happened? When did you first see him?
he came, I went to his house. He was chilling. That's earlier than that.
Approximately what time? When did you
Speak
first see him?
directly to the
I don't
microphone.
know exactly what time I found out he was there.
Was it still daylight out? Was it nighttime?
It was earlier that day.
And what did you two do?
Chilling.
I'm sorry, Judge, can the court ask me? Please?
Speaking to the microphone, nice and loud, sir. We're trying to hear you.
He was chilling. He was chilling at his house.
Were there other people there?
His brother, and I think his dad.
Who's his brother?
I don't know his name.
Do you know if that's a blood relative or just somebody close? If you know.
This is, I think his brother.
And what were you guys doing? Were you consuming any alcohol at that time?
Yes, sir.
Any drugs of any kind?
Yes, sir.
And what did you do?
We was chilling. I was going that night, and I was asking him like, we ain't go. Then, later on that night, we went to his people's house down the street. On the way back, I heard the blood.
Let me stop you right there. When you say you went to someone else's house down the street, what street are you referring to?
Linwood. I don't know the residential street. It was right down there.
And you know whose house that was that you went to? Do you know the approximate time?
It was late. I was probably like 2 something. Maybe.
When you say 2 something, you mean 2 in the morning on July 3rd?
Yeah, it was late. I just know it was dark.
Judge, I can't hear him, he's trailing off.
Keep your voice up for us, sir. Speaking to the microphone.
So
Okay. When you left that location, what did you do?
started walking to the house,
Where were you walking?
down Linwood.
Do you know what?
Towards,
Do you know what direction you were traveling on Linwood?
towards I don't know, but we were going towards Grand Boulevard.
And when you say we, who's with you at that?
Me, him, and his brother.
And when you say him, you're talking about Adrian?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And as you were walking back, did anything happen that was memorable?
When we got like by the corner, red car say something, turn, got the swerve,
went across the street, it was by the gas station. And they was walking through the parking lot, and I was walking on the sidewalk. And he turned around, the car turned around, came back, was the right on the Linwood, damn, so shit.
When you, let me back up. When you say corner, what corner are you referring to?
Linwood, I just said that they turned right on Linwood
Linwood and what? What's the cross street?
Boulevard.
Okay. And you said you heard someone say something? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I mean exactly what I said. I mean, I don't know what was said, but somebody said something, they turned the corner, started swerving. They,
Hold on one second. Was it a female's voice or a male's voice?
I have no idea.
And you don't know what they said?
No.
And specifically, what did you see the car?
Swerve down the street, then turn around and come back, and start shooting.
Okay. When you say turned around and came back, where did the car come
They were
back?
coming down Linwood, they made it right, Linwood, they started swerving. They made a U-turn. But at that time, we were across the street, we had already crossed the park. So they were, Adrian's brother, they were like right here in the parking lot, and I'm on the sidewalk right there. He turned on made it right on Linwood, started shooting.
Can you describe that car you're referring to?
It was a little red car.
Do you know what make or model it might be?
I have no idea.
And did you see if anyone was in the car?
I know it was one gun that.
Sorry.
I don't know how many,
He said, I know it was one gun that,
yeah, I don't know how many people were in the car.
And could you make out any description, any identifying characteristics for anyone?
No, sir, I didn't see.
Now, on the car, did you see the gun?
No,
Did you see where the shots were happening?
on the right side of the car, like I said. That's he.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
I saw out of the right side of the car.
No, I thought you said something after.
I said, I don't know if it was front or back or anything. See, I just heard the shot.
So I'm sure you couldn't tell where the shots were aimed.
Can you repeat that?
You couldn't tell where they were aiming?
No.
Did you see what happened to the vehicle after the shooting? What do you mean they pulled off? What direction?
Straight, I don't know what I'm saying. They do it.
So I think you said previously they were traveling on Linwood at that time?
Yeah.
So they just continued down Linwood?
I believe so.
Did you see that car again?
No.
And when you heard the shots, did you see what Adrian and his brother were doing at that time?
Thought they went to the gas station, and I went there, it was.
Okay, so you went to the gas station. What did you do next?
I'm looking for them, then I let back out, they went in. I went down the street, seen his brother. Yeah, that's when we started looking for him.
So you couldn't find Adrian?
You
What happened next?
we went to his mom's house, and actually he came here, and she said, no, she came home and started with this little phone. Yeah, it was going around for, I said, probably about 35 minutes, so. Then they went to the house, yeah, we didn't find it. Yeah. So I say, I don't know what time it was, but it was starting to get early. We walked back by the gas station, and I seen it down in the grass. I called.
You said you called. What do you mean you called?
I called his family members.
Did you make any other phone calls?
No,
And sure, this isn't easy, but could you describe specifically where he was located?
Our gas station. Yeah. It's like
The
some,
mic, sir. You pull the mic closer to you.
our gas station, sorry. Field.
So, could you describe what you saw with respect to Adrian?
As far as,
I know it's not easy, but just specifically what,
Did you see any injury to him?
yeah, he was shot. I didn't see where the bullet was.
Tell us what you did see.
He had blood on his,
Where was the blood at?
torso.
His torso? What part of his torso?
I have no idea. I just know it was blood.
When you say torso, what do you mean?
Like his body.
was he moving at that time? And I'm gonna publish People's Exhibit 9A. I apologize for showing this to the other family in the room. I apologize to Mr. Johnson for having to show this.
So my understanding is this may be kind of graphic, folks. You don't think you can handle it, you can excuse yourself out now, or you can turn your head.
It's nothing that's been shown, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Kuja, as soon as this witness is over, I'll do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, can you see the screen up there? The answer yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna play People's Exhibit 9A from the 33-minute, 2-second mark. Okay, I've stopped the video at the 33-minute, 12-second mark. Now, there's a van with a red hood and two people in front of that. Do you know who those two people are in this video? Okay, I'm gonna keep playing for that same mark.
I didn't hear his answer.
I thought you said no.
No.
Okay, I stopped at the 33-minute, 20-second mark.
Like, sir, you move a little closer, you might get a better, you might want to move your hair out your face and see.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, if you want to step up here, might get better. That's up to you. Okay, I'm playing it from the 32-minute, 55-second.
Okay, I really can't hear you now.
If you could step back on the witness stand, so we can. Now I stopped it at the 33-minute, 26-second. I think I might have been the only one in the courtroom that heard what you just said. Could you repeat that, please?
So this is my first time seeing the video, but it was like this.
When you say it looked like that's done, where you were.
30 minutes.
And That's the two individuals that were walking in front of that van that I mentioned earlier.
I believe so.
And did any of those vehicles that were in that video look familiar? Do you know if Adrian had any problems with anyone? Sorry, it wasn't a good question. When you say no, sir, do you mean no, I don't know, or do you mean no, you did not have any problems?
That's-
And do you know of any reason at all that someone would want to shoot Adrian?
No.
I have no further questions.
Yes, thank you. You said that you went over to Adrian's house earlier in the day when it was still daylight out, is that right? And you said you weren't drinking or smoking anything, right? No other drugs, right? Now, from the time that you went over there in the daylight hours, did you stay with Adrian the whole day until you walked down Linwood towards that gas station?
Yeah.
Okay, so you never left his company that entire time?
No.
Okay. And I don't have anything else, thank you.
No.
I have one more question. When you say that the shots you thought were coming from the right side of the car, do you mean the passenger side of the car?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Okay, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Kuzma. Let's get Mr. Hall up. You're all set, sir.
Let's come to the right. Stand right here.
Calling case 2357886, people of the state of Michigan versus Andrew James Hall. Defendant is charged in count 1 homicide, murder, first degree premeditated. Defendant has an habitual offender, third offense notice. Appearances for the record, please.
Good afternoon, to your honor and to your staff. This is Brian Johnson from the people, P84143.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jamil Puja, P71963, appearing on behalf of Mr. Hall.
Mr. Hall, tell us your name and the record.
Andrew James Hall.
Today is the date and time set for preliminary examination, Mr. Kuzma.
Your Honor, if I could just place on the record, I did meet with Mr. Hall in the jail beforehand, and it's his desire to waive the preliminary examination. I advised him, I don't think I've ever waived one on first degree murder. I would advise him to hold it, but ultimately it's his right. He wants to waive it. Is that correct, Mr. Hall? And Your Honor, also for the record, I did take a copy of his discovery to him at the jail, but he did not want to see that. Is that correct? Your Honor, with that,
So, Mr. Hall, it is a bit unusual to waive your preliminary examination on the first degree murder premeditated. However, I have seen it done before. I understand you have a statutory right to have a preliminary examination. By waiving the same, that means you won't have one, and you'll be bound over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court as you stand charged. You understand that? Speak up.
yes,
You understand the nature and the purpose of a preliminary examination?
yes,
You understand if you were to have one, the prosecution would have to establish that the crime charged with was committed in facility control, and that there's probable cause to believe you committed it.
yes,
Is anyone forcing you to waive your right?
No.
Is anyone promised you?
No.
Are you waiving your right freely and voluntarily?
yes,
Any objection from the people?
No objection, Your Honor.
The court finds the defendant's waiver is made knowingly and voluntarily, freely given. The court binds the defendant over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court, Criminal Division for further proceedings. His arraignment on the information date and time will be August 24th, 2023 at 9:00 a.m. And it will be remanded to the custody of the Wayne County Sheriff. I'm gonna get you guys to sign the waiver form.
Yes, Your Honor, how are you?
All right, thank you very much. He's all set.
Thank
Your Honor.
Right this way, sir.
We are back on the record on people versus Chiron.
Judge, that brings me to my last witness, who is one that's currently hospitalized. I requested an adjournment, so we have some time to verify a hospitalization. Sure that would be successful.
I have to admit, I didn't hear everything you said because I was talking to Mr. Kucha.
He said he had one more witness to call, that's the witness that's in hospital.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
All right, so let's see, what do we do? So she's in the hospital having a baby, right?
Well, she's high-risk pregnancy and was having some issues. I don't know if she's having the baby at this moment. I don't know what.
So I'm thinking we probably have to give her at least 2 weeks.
But the officer in charge is also going to be out next week and part of the following week, so yes, I request at least 2 weeks. Honestly, if we could, I'd like to put it out to September. That gives me enough time to be.
Well, that's not gonna work for me. I start trials, I start 3 trials in a row, same judge starting September 5th.
Let me ask this question, it's just a question, I'll jump all over. Is there a possibility she could testify via Zoom?
I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not her doctor.
I mean, would you have an objection to it?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never,
Can I ask?
well, I need to have a discussion with my client now. It's not exactly time to have that discussion. I can't make those decisions without words.
Judge, I also don't know if I would put her to testify via Zoom until I get some further information on this. If she's really hospitalized and it's really a medical concern, then absolutely I'm not going to have an objection to it. I just want some more time.
I mean, I'm thinking worst case scenario, but she is high risk. I'm not going to deliver any baby here. I didn't put that on my staff.
I'm with you on that, Judge.
Why do I want to put her in jeopardy of losing the child?
Absolutely.
So you say you're not available the week before?
Judge, I'm not. I'm not. I have.
What about August 31st?
I have some motions that afternoon in front of Judge Cobb.
10 or 11:30?
I can't do them. I was just gonna suggest that perhaps Judge Cobb would be willing to do that.
So this is one of those rare instances where I'm making an exception to my homicide as I do on a Friday. How's that work? September 1st.
Could we do it in the morning of the September?
Absolutely. 10 o'clock.
That's good for me.
It's just one more witness, right?
Just one more witness, Judge. Unless there's something that I'm missing.
All right, tell the part continue to September 1st at 10 o'clock a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Then, continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. You don't step up.
Go on and leave and call me later. Don't stay.
I'll say.
Take that back. It would be easy for me to send you the entire.
Here's how to give you your exhibits back.
Yeah, I'll come around eventually.
Wait, say, just send whatever, however way you need to send it, just please, let me just say, by the court's order, I'm okay.
Ms. Silver, I'm not gonna violate. Thank you for the advice, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you want the entire discovery file resent to you, or do you want me to go through?
I don't care as long as all the documents are redacted, however.
I'll send you everything and you'll have it.
When Mr. Pujo was a prosecutor,
I do.
he's one of the best trades we ever got.
That's what.
Trades we ever got. He's a good lawyer. Him and Nicole James.
There's a lot of people. It's a good show.
Those are about the two best, I'd say.
You have to start calling the code attention to this. So, then to do.
Nicole
James.
James, oh, I know. So this is kind of a funny story. Is this on YouTube now? I wasn't there.
Oh, this man.
I wasn't there.
That's gonna be your approach, all right?
I wasn't there.
Okay. Been around you too long, we good.
Okay.